There's always a deep purpose for suffering. That's what one man believes after his life has been filled with hardships and hard times.
But it was during those chapters in his life that he perfected the unique skill of carving art out of wooden pieces. 10 News anchor Daphne Gray shares how he symbolically carved his story for all to see in a deep Blue Ridge.
Nature was basically my teacher.
Roger Trenton Davis is reminiscing about his childhood growing up in the mountains in Whitville.
As a youngster growing up, my gifts was generally guns and ammunition. I had to hunt to get food to feed the family.
Roger says it was challenging growing up during that time in our history, especially without a father.
The Klan killed him. How do you go on from here to adulthood without that strong man in your life to teach you what you need to do in order to survive?
But there was a unique skill he learned in that chapter of his life.
Wild cherry tree root.
That will play a critical part over time for Roger.
When I wanted a toy, maybe something to play with, well, you take a knife and you kind of carve something. It's the way the old folks used to do it.
From carving toys as an 8-year-old to these beautiful, intricate wooden pieces you see throughout his home today.
I see things in wood, in art. My hands, for some reason, they have to continually move. They reflect things that I've seen inside. And God has given me the grace through my hands and my mind to make them materialize.
By inside, Roger means the decades he spent in prison starting in 1972.
I was arrested for 8 ounces of marijuana and sentenced to 40 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. It seemed like I was about the only one they made an example out of because of the color of my skin.
This is where the art of carving wood reintroduced itself to Roger, and it was through a fellow inmate and artist he called Rockman.
He would take a piece of slate and grind it on the sidewalk, and then he would paint it up with a toothpick and paint. He taught me that there is nothing that is not useful. Stuff that we throw away are treasures. All you have to do is just knock the rough edges off of it and put your signature on it. It's one little shave at a time. So each piece.
Piece by piece, shaving by shaving, Roger worked on his art and himself.
I found so much relief in just sitting with a razor blade and a piece of wood and creating what I've got around me. Every piece of chip or splinter that I carved off a piece of wood was like a piece of me that was irrelevant, that I was able to cut off and perfect myself.
He says carving wood was a great way to pass the time by and to avoid negative thoughts and the pain of being locked up. And after those 40 long years, he still has that sparkle in his eyes, which will make anyone do a double take after learning his age.
So
You're 77?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Thank you, God.
Even more so, and despite the injustices he's been dealt,
I don't judge people by the color of their skin, what they weigh, how tall they are, how short they are.
He says he looks at people through their hearts and wants others to do the same.
That's my queen.
As a free man now in 2023, Roger works as a cement mason by day, but continues telling his story through wood by night. He has pieced together his wooden puzzle of a journey to inspire others to never take life for granted, no matter how much suffering is involved.
I smiled and laughed a lot while I was in prison because there was a lot to smile and laugh about. You know, you don't let hardship just leave you, just all to pieces. So I'm hoping that someone will open their eyes and say, wow, this is what human beings can withstand. Yeah. If I can do that for anybody, then my life has been well spent.
Here's an example of just one of the many wooden pieces Roger has created. He says this is Jamaican wood, and like his other pieces, is filled with his history. Roger is now a prison pre-entry consultant for people entering the prison system, where he mentors, educates, and helps them prepare for time behind bars. He is also an advocate for bills to legalize marijuana to help prevent what happened to him from happening to someone else. For the Deep Blue Ridge, I'm Daphne Gray, 10 News working for you.